You know what I was thinking about today, earlier on, well, like a few hours ago? I was thinking about, just wondering, when did I, I was just thinking about, like, when did I realize I was tall? Like, which point in my life was I like, oh, shucks. I'm tall. I think I should story time that actually, because I remember. And just an indication of how, let me not say men with insecurities, let me just say people with insecurities just project the insecurities on you, and it's not even about you, the person, but it's about them just projecting their insecurities. So I'm gonna do story time on that. Anyway, enjoy this episode. Hi, welcome back to Living by Takealot. I'm Takealot, where I just talk about and share life stuff with you, whether it's what I'm processing, what I'm trying out, what I'm trying to implement in my life, but just sharing that with you and hoping that you find encouragement and inspiration from it. So let's get into today's video. The third episode is going to be about mental health. Mental health, and one of the things that really helped me with my mental health. Yes. So I'll just get into that in this episode, and hopefully the few things that I do share in today's episode will really help you and get you thinking about I don't know how you can implement that in your life. You really want that or doing research or whatever it is, but hopefully that it inspires and moves you to either reflect on your own mental health and on your own thing that you're doing for yourself, or just to think differently about things, about life. So yeah, so let's get into this. So I'll be speaking about boundaries, and yeah, just growing up, it was never easy for me to say no, you know. I always just found myself saying yes to stuff because I couldn't gather up the courage or the gut, the baby, whatever, for me to say no. And even if I would say no, I'd feel so horrible about saying no. So just saying no has always been a struggle. And I knew that I had boundary issues because I had no line where I didn't allow people to cross. I had no lines where I was just like, okay, cool, this is what I'm about, this is what I'm not about. And in times where people would be standing on or pushing the line of things I'm not about, I'd be okay with it, or I'd talk myself into being okay with it, which wasn't okay because I was truly bothered by things, you know. Where there'd be times where I'd be saying yes to stuff, and when I'm in a room, I'd be so stressed, I'd be annoyed, I'd be just not a nice person, but not like to people, but to myself, because it is, I made that choice. I said yes, you know, I'm responsible for the choices that I make. So why? So then that was just like annoying, because it's like, oh, Takealot, you put yourself into this situation because you said yes when you could have said no. You know what I'm saying? So in this book, Boundaries. Oh, YouTuber things. What am I doing? It says here at the front that when to say yes, how to say no, to take control of your life. And like, because even at the back, I don't know what this back thing is called, but it says Christians often focus so much on being loving and giving that they forget their own limits and limitations. Have you ever found yourself wondering, can I set limits and still be a loving person? How do I answer someone who wants my time, love, and energy or money? How do I feel guilty when I consider setting, why do I feel guilty when I consider setting boundaries, you know? And it says, in this gold medal award-winning book, Doctors Henry Cloud and John Townsend give you biblically based answers to these and other tough questions, and show you how to set healthy boundaries with your parents, spouses, friends, co-workers, and even yourself. So I was just like, wow, God, yes, like, yes. It was just going to go straight into, okay, cool. So how you set boundaries as a Christian is you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, step Bible verses, and that's it. But it actually, the first chapter, if I'm not mistaken, it goes into just saying what boundaries are, how boundaries look like, God has boundaries, why we have boundaries, the type of boundaries we have. Because from a place of understanding what boundaries are, you'll be able to see and reflect in your life, okay, cool, if boundaries are this and my life looks like this, then therefore there are no boundaries in my life if I thought I had boundaries, because it's not according to what boundaries are, you know. And I feel like it was really great for it to be such like. Then also from that, then it just also shows how a boundaryless life looks like. Excuse me. Also, and then also from that, just going to explain as to how boundaries are set up, you know, from being like a baby all the way through all the different developmental stages that we go through as human beings. So for me, it's really dope to actually see that, okay, cool, where my own personal boundary problems were developed, or where they arose. I think it's arose. So for me, it was also really great to see it at a very root level of why it was difficult for me to say no. But it wasn't that, for example, me saying no wasn't because saying no was difficult, but it was just the fear of not feeling as if whatever love and affection was expressed towards me was going to be taken away because I didn't give a desired answer or response to something. So the fear of not being loved, you know, was like a parent who like came up every time I felt like I had to say no, give an answer that wasn't desired by the person who's asking for the answer. So for me, it was that issue where then I had to go back and like work through that with God, like, sure, Holy Spirit, I mean, so if this is why I have this problem, then please help me like work through this, help me to be able to re-establish these boundaries, because I can't be living life, man, like this. Yeah, and for me, it's just been really great to see and experience for myself how now, because now I understand what boundaries are and the importance of them and why God gave us boundaries. I then know what I can or can't expect from people and what I can't and can put on people, you know. So it really not only helps me to navigate my own boundaries, but also helps me to navigate other people's boundaries, because I understand my own boundaries, and therefore I'm not going to place unrealistic expectations or give people burdens or whatever that is not for them to carry, but is for me to now. Really just shed so much light for me and gave me like a different perspective and understanding in terms of like helping people whenever they do need help. So I'm just going to read like 3-ish paragraphs. I'll try not to read the whole page because it's just so good. We are responsible to others and for ourselves. Carry each other's burdens, says Galatians 6 verse 2. And in this way you fulfill the law of Christ. This verse shows our responsibility to one another. Many times others have burdens that are too big to bear. They do not have enough strength, resources, or knowledge to carry the load, and they need help. Denying ourselves to do for others what they cannot do for themselves is showing the sacrificial love of Christ. This is what Christ did for us. He did what we could not do for ourselves. He saved us. This is being responsible too. On the other hand, verse 5 says that each one should carry his own load. Everyone has responsibilities that only he or she can carry. These things are our particular load that we need to take daily responsibility for and work out. No one can do certain things for us. We have to take ownership of certain aspects of life that are our own load. The Greek words for burden and load give us insight into the meaning of these texts. The Greek word for burden means excess burdens, or burdens that are so heavy that they weigh us down. The burdens are like boulders, they can crush us. We shouldn't be expected to carry a boulder by ourselves. It would break our backs. We need help with boulders, those times of crisis and tragedy in our lives. In contrast, the Greek word for load means cargo, or the burden of daily toil. This word describes the everyday things that we all need to do. These loads are like knapsacks. Knapsacks are possible to carry. We are expected to carry our own. We are expected to deal with our own feelings attitudes, behaviors, as well as responsibilities God has given to each one of us, even though it takes effort. Problems arise when people act as if their boulders are daily loads and refuse help, or as if their daily loads are boulders they shouldn't have to carry. The results of these two instances are either perpetual pain or irresponsibility. Just beautiful, like, and that's like in the first 30 pages of like the book, and it was just so good to have that. I understand that yes, we are supposed to help each other and be there for each other, and but within that too, there are things that God has given us to be responsible for, you know, and therefore me helping you with your knapsack is not doing you any help. Like, I'm harming you if anything, because I'm then not making you face consequences. I'm not allowing you to then deal and work through it with whatever it is, but like I'm coming through to save you, and therefore which makes you irresponsible for what you have given to be responsible for. Excuse me. And also in me, for example, now refusing people to help me with my boulders, my like burdens, is then hurting me, causing me pain, because I'm not allowing the help that I guess has been allowed for me to have, or been provided for me to have, to come through for me, because I think, oh no, this is my knapsack. Ganti, this is not a knapsack. No, this is a boulder and it's crushing you, sis. Like, reach out, ask for help. So I feel like for me that's just one of the many things that has really helped me to like whoa, you know, with like understanding boundaries, and as I mentioned before, just for me to see where it all went wrong, and also just allowing God to go to that place and to work through and to help me establish and set healthy boundaries, you know, boundaries for myself, boundaries between me and people, me and friends, and also boundaries between me and God, you know. And yeah, it's a really great book, so I'd really suggest this book. If you are struggling with boundaries, or boundaries are just kind of shaky for you, if you just want to understand or just develop healthier boundaries, I really would suggest this book for you. I'll leave the details of the book down below. Like, I've made notes in this book. Like, this is steps the book to also just, like, you can't read this book, you can't finish this book in a month. Like, you can, but I feel like to be able to apply and to process and to reflect on whatever it is that you're reading, on whatever it is coming up for you, that you need to work through, you need to allow God to work through your own life. It's okay if it takes you a year, because I feel like for me, it's basically been a year since I started, more than a year actually. If it was like last year May, then it's been more than a year, and this is where I'm at today. Yeah, this is where I'm at, and this much more to go. And I'm not rushing myself, because I really want to enjoy and thoroughly process, man, and just reflect on what I'm reading. So I'm okay at the pace that I'm taking with this book in specific, and I'm excited to finish the book. So thank you so much for watching this episode. I really hope that I just got insight, and it got you thinking about, as I said, wow, all this time, about what boundaries you have existing in your life. If you want to share any boundaries that you have set in your life, please do feel free to share them down in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe, share this video with someone that you think will benefit from the video, or buy this book, man, for someone that you think is really gonna benefit from reading this book. I don't know, book club this book. Share this video with someone that you feel as if would really benefit. I really said that. Or maybe just let this be a conversation starter with your friend, with your boyfriend, with your partner, with your family member, with whoever. I think it'd be a great conversation starter. I think so. I feel like I'm rambling now. Oh yeah, before I forget, I think for this week's supply too, I want to be more creative. I was actually thinking about this earlier on today, that I think having like a different supply every single week, especially because now I am being more intentional, because I want to say being more consistent, but I mean I am better than last month, but because I am speaking this into existence actually, because I am going to be posting videos every single week, I don't think it would be Like, I don't think I have enough time to apply my apply if I'm having a new one every week. So I think I'm just going to do monthly apply. So every beginning of the month, I'll have the apply for the month, and I'll apply that month throughout the whole, I'll apply that apply for that whole month, and then through each week in that month, I reflect on how the apply for the month is going in that week. So for the apply for September, still is to be more creative in terms of creating content, thinking about content, taking videos, just being more intentional about being creative for this channel, for my life, awesome. So yeah, till next time, bye. That sounds like the kids should. Anyway, bye.